right here on Hip Hop Connection. I'm very excited about this show. It's going to be really good. A lot of good information coming out. A very special guest. She goes by the name of Miss Stacy Lattisaw-Jackson. How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing fine. How you doing?
I'm just happy to have you here. We have so much to talk about that I don't even know where to start. But we're going to start off with what you have in your hand. And that's your new book.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about it.
This book is my life story and some more.
Okay.
I started on it a little over 2 years ago, and it's finally here and available.
All right.
You know, it's funny because when I was writing the book, I had mixed emotions because it felt like I was reliving some of the things I went through.
Okay.
In the music industry. I had times when I laughed, I had times when I cried, and it just, you know, from being a 12-year-old child star, you know, I went through a lot of different things, many challenges in school. I came out of middle school and I was homeschooled.
Okay. And
finished my homeschool doing.
Wow. So in this book, we have some of those stories and how you overcame some of the adversities that
all of that's in the book. Yeah, you know, it's funny because I always remember, you know, one of the scriptures in the Bible where it says, to whom much is given, much is required, you know, and there was a lot of responsibility put on me at a young age. And by the time I would say, because I recorded 11 albums during my R&B career, and I had many different opportunities. And I would say I accomplished a lot, you know, by the grace of God, yes. But I think the highlight of my career was being the opening act for the Jacksons in 1981, the Victory Tour. Right. I got the opportunity to meet Michael and the family and to go backstage and talk to him and, you know, watch him on the side of the stage perform. And some of the girls would pass out, you know. It was funny because, you know, he had that type of effect on people. Right. You know, in my opinion, he was the greatest entertainer of all time. And Michael Jackson was just an incredible artist.
What did you learn from that particular experience?
Oh my gosh, I learned a lot. Okay. You know, well, at the time I was only 15. Right. You know, and when they first contacted my management company, they asked me to be the opening act. I said no. Wow. Yeah, because I didn't know. You know, I was just a little girl. Just, you know, wanted to do the things that, you know, kids my age did at 15. Right. So when I was asked to do the tour, I said, no, I don't want to be gone for 13 weeks. I want to be home with my friends and go to school and, you know, do things that, you know, kids that age did. So, of course, they talked me into it, and they said that it would jumpstart my career. And that's exactly what it did. Wow. Because, you know, and it's funny because the more I think about it now, as I'm older now, how many people would have not wanted that opportunity? Right. You know, for Michael Jackson's manager to contact me, right, you know, and ask me to be the opening act, that was an honor. It really, really was. So, you know, I'm thankful for the opportunities that God has given me. Cool.
So let's transition a little bit and talk about something that's going to be in the book as far as how you've managed to move from the music industry and your dealings with the music industry to what you're doing now. It's like writing books, and I know you have your own studio, yeah, and some other projects. So how did that all come about?
You know, it's funny because everything I think I went through, you know, from 12 years old, I was 24 when I actually retired from the music industry, the R&B industry. And it was funny because I always would say when I'm 25, I told my mother, when I'm 25, I want to retire. So I was actually 24 when I walked away from. It was my decision to walk away from the music industry, and many people didn't understand why I did what I did. Right. But there were actually a few different reasons why I walked away from the industry. Number one, the record company never really supported me. Okay. I was beat out of tons of money from my management company. Also, I suffered with bouts of depression. Okay. And many people would think that, you know, being a celebrity and having things and having money and knowing other celebrities, they would think that you would be happy and literally on top of the world. But I was not happy. Yeah. I had a void in me. I was never really content. And I got to the place where I said, you know, I don't even know who I am. You know, because of the label being Stacy Lattisaw, you know, I just didn't know who I really was and what my purpose really was.
Okay.
So I began to pray, and I began to seek God and ask him what he wanted me to do, what his will was for me. And the more time I spent with God, the more he began to reveal what his plans were for me. Yes. And you know what? It's funny because also it's like everything that, even down to the business part of some of the things that happened to me, I'm using all that now to help other people.
Okay.
To not make some of the same mistake, go down the same roads because see, when I was 12 years old, my mother, she was a stay-at-home mom, and my father had a government job. So they knew nothing about the music industry. So because they did not know, we were taken advantage of.
Right.
So, you know, what I'm doing is I'm helping other people to avoid some of the things that we went through.
Okay. So now that you're doing this and you're working, dabbling in the music industry again, has the music industry gotten better or worse?
Oh my goodness, in my opinion, it's gotten worse. It's gotten worse. And there was another reason, I'm glad you said that, there was another reason why I, you know, walked away, because in my opinion, back then, it was getting to the point where it was more, they were focusing more on videos as opposed to singing.
Right.
I was always a singer.
Yes.
I was never really a dancer or the type of person that would, you know, take some of my clothes off and show more of my body parts and things like that. So, you know, the more, I guess, they wanted me to do that, you know, I was always a young lady, and I was raised, you know, to be a respectable person and a woman of integrity. So, you know, it had gotten to the point where, you know, the music business, it just lacked integrity, and now it's even more. Yeah. So now when you turn on the videos, women are, you know, showing too much of their body parts and the type of dancing that they're doing. They don't even realize the kids are watching. I mean, we got little girls, you know, young ladies watching them and thinking that it's cool to get up there and shake your behind. And, you know, I just keep it real. I just don't think that that's a good thing, you know, and I don't know. This is the next generation of kids that we're making an impact on. When these kids are watching these videos and things, it's like, you know, it's like a learned behavior, and they think that it's normal. And some people think, well, wow, she's up there and she's doing that, I need to do that too to make money. Use your gifts and the talents that God has given you, and use them in a way that he will be pleased. And he'll bless you for it.
Cool. Well, when we come back, we're going to talk about what you're doing with this voice that you have, this magical voice that you have, and what can we look forward to. Sounds good?
A lot of things I'm working on now.
Okay. So we'll talk about that right here on Hip Hop Connection. Back here on Hip Hop Connection with Stacy Lattisaw-Jackson. And once again, we're just happy to have you in the studio, and we look forward to finding out, are we going to hear your voice? I know we can read your voice. Are we going to be able to hear your voice in the near future? Actually,
yes. I'm working on a gospel project, and I won't be going with a record label.
Okay.
I'm going to do it my way, and I'm going to take that back. I'm going to do it God's way.
Okay.
Because I wasn't instructed to go with a record label. So because we have a recording studio, we're going to use our own studio. And also, I'm just going to sell the songs on iTunes and on my website and get it out there and, you know, do it that way. Because in my opinion, you know, being on Atlantic and Motown, they were the ones that made all the money, you know, and most artists today, and anybody can tell you this, most artists make their money performing live.
Right. Concerts are it.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not going with the record label.
Okay, so how soon can we look forward to this gospel?
Oh gosh, I've been saying this for so long. I got to get back in the studio because, you know, with everything I'm working on, both of my kids, well, my son, he sings. I'm gonna say that because he does sing, but he doesn't want to sing.
Okay.
But both my kids sing and play the piano. My son writes and produces songs. He's working with a lot of, oh gosh, talented people, and my